Hi everyone, welcome back to If My Heart at Wings, episode 37, and it feels like Aoi, Kotori, and Ageha are racing against the clock, so being able to get the glider ready to go before Amane graduates, or is forced to graduate in 10 days. And I'm sure they're hoping that the morning glory clouds arrive within the 10 days. Because after Amane graduates, I'm sure our unfavorite teacher, Toyoki Sensei, is going to close the soaring club for good. And even though he's kind of like the antagonist in this story, he does have one big concern, and it's that making a glider and taking it into the skies is an unsafe activity, and there can be many room for disasters. And the soaring club had prior incidents, and that's why he thinks that it's unsafe and it's better if they abandon this glider interest and join his robotics club. So let's see what Amane wants, and I wonder what she wants to hear from Kotori. So I don't really remember what happened here, but it was like Kotori and Ageha and I were talking about something, and Amane wants to know what's going on. So anyways... Okay, so first of all, Kotori gets surprised by Amane's sudden appearance. So Kotori, jumping up out of her wheelchair, hastily hid the flight log behind her back. Oh, okay, so I think this was when they were talking about the flight log and why Amane wants to return the flight log back to Kotori.
さっきから何をコソコソ話してるんだ?
Nothing? You didn't hear anything. But I'm sure the flight log is a giveaway. So Amane looks at me. Well, like she says, we're just talking amongst ourselves. Well, as I answer, Amane pouts. Really? So I did hear that you were mentioning me then. Oh crap. So she's really upset. Or like, well, you kind of left me out, and that's kind of sad. So since she was concentrating on the drawing board, I thought she wouldn't notice what we were doing. Okay. So, farewell party? So Kotori's voice fades away. It's like, well, we're doing a farewell party, and so although she used it as an excuse in the heat of a moment, we don't really want to talk about Amane leaving. So in that place of Kotori, who had fallen silent, I continue the story. So, okay, so I always try to come with some good justifications. Like, we were planning to in the secret because we thought we might surprise you. We're going to prepare all your favorite things. Okay, so Amane is convinced. Well, it sounds like fun though. So seeing that she believed us, and then she returned to her position in front of the drawing board. Phew, okay, so we managed to brush her off.
これでしなきゃいけなくなったわね。
But now we actually have to do it so that we're not lying to Amane. Oh, that's fine. Let's have a farewell party anyways.
やだけどやりたい。
So I'm not in agreement with Kotori. So it's not that I want to say goodbye to Amane. However, if that was the way it is, I want to give her a proper send-off. So, if I recall, what happened was that Amane returned the flight log to Kotori, and it kind of symbolizes that Amane is going to abandon or give up her dreams of making gliders. And it's like, well, I'm just going to go back to my father's laboratory and work there. And it's like, it's kind of sad because Amane was trying to fulfill the dreams that Isuka couldn't fulfill many years ago. And it feels like Amane is being forced or pressured to end up in the same way that Isuka did. So Isuka really wanted to go to the morning glory clouds, but she never did it and gave up on it. So anyways, we're now in the shopping district, and I was like, so is this the only thing that you need?
シャーペンの芯がなくなりそうだからそれも買っておこう。
Okay, so they're buying some stuff for Amane, some presents, and the only thing Amane wants so far is just pencils. So I follow Amane into the stationery store. So today, I've gone to shopping with Amane. I'm what you might call a bag carrier. And even so, going out with Amane, just the two of us, would be called one of the perks of this job.
よし、もう忘れ物はないぞ。
Nope. So, shall we head back?
今日はありがとう。おかげでいっぱい買えた。
No problem at all. Amane bought paper and equipment for drawing, and also some tools for what purpose I don't know. And the amount and the weight would have been too much for Amane to carry by herself.
けど、どうして急に買い出しに付き合ってくれたんだ？
So I wonder why you want to join along. Well, I thought it might be tough to do it by yourself. So today I have been entrusted with a secret mission. And while the others prepare for the farewell party itself, I have to buy them some time. So I wonder what's the farewell party going to consist? Like what they're going to do at the farewell party. So a few days ago, I was hastily decided that we would hold a farewell party, but in order to surprise Amane, even just a little, we plan to keep all the very least, or like at the very least the day and the time of the party, a secret. Okay. So right now, Kotori and the others should be proceeding with the preparations at the dormitory. And they should be alright with this. So they had called for some help, so they told me not to worry. So Amane, where are you going? Amane stared to walk in the opposite direction to the school. Or started
荷
to.
物を持って帰るんだ。飛び魚荘に。
Right, wait. So are you going to put them in the garage then?
これは寮で作業できるように買ったものだからな。
Oh, okay, Seikon. Well, I wanted to do some work in the dormitory, and that's why I bought all this. But I wonder if Amane can just simply take the one that's in the garage, because, anyways, they're going to have to clean out the garage. Really? That must be why she's buying a large amount of the same things that she has on her desk in the garage.
どうしたんだ？帰らないのか？
So is there anything wrong with that? So I think what's happening is that Kotori and Ageha are preparing the party at the dormitory, and if Amane goes back now, she's going to find out. Well, this is bad. If she goes back to dormitory like this, they'll be caught in the middle of preparations. There you go. So why don't we go for a little stroll then?
別に構わないが。
Well, what's all of a sudden? Her face seemed to say, but she agreed to it anyways. Okay, let's go then. So, as far as possible. So as far as possible, following that idea, I chose the course for the stroll. So where is I going to take Amane? So if we take a detour past the lake along the promenade, and then I noticed that we were walking up a gentle slope. So I wonder if the slope is a little hard for Amane to walk. But looks like what's happening instead is that Aoi took Amane to Windmill Hill. So Amane let out a sigh as though she was impressed by the sight of the windmills lined up along the gently sloping hill. Okay, so Windmill Hill. So is this the first time you've seen this?
下から見るのはな。湖越しにか、空の上からしか見たことなかった。
Oh, okay. Well, not many people would have seen this place from the air. I was one of those few people. I feel quite proud of that.
ここは自然エネルギーの研究施設だったな。私が慶風学園に来た頃にはまだ建設中だった。
Okay, so it kind of emphasizes how long Amane has been at school. It's like, well, I was here ever since this place was being built. It was when I had moved away from here. I see, so at that time, Amane was already a student of the Keifu Academy. So you were also in the robotics club in the first grade, and after that, you joined the soaring club, didn't you?
ああ、そうだ。入ったというより、部を作ったという言い方が正しいな。
Oh, so actually founded the soaring club, or actually revived the soaring club. So if you remember, when Amane was in the robotics club, she pretty much was very close to getting the school a championship title, and then for some reason, she quit. So, together with Isuka, that's right? For a moment, Amane looks at me in a mysterious way and then nods. So yeah, I did reopen the soaring club with Isuka. So she must find it strange to hear us using Isuka's name.
私はイスカに誘われたんだ。イスカがあの写真やガレージを見つけてきて、ソアリング部を作ろうと言い出した。
So it was actually Isuka who founded the soaring club and she invited me. Okay. Well, I wish I could have seen it.
何をだ?
So I wanted to have a sense of what it was around that time when you entered the soaring club for the first time. So Amane at the same age as Kotori and Ageha. So Amane looks at her own body again.
今とそう変わらないと思うぞ。
Well, I was kind of like this many years ago, so well, her boobs must have been just as big back then too. Kotori would have been jealous if she heard that. So her looks aside, I can't imagine Amane Mochizuki as an innocent young girl. So her insight, or like her height, might not have changed much since the time she joined the robotics club. So what did you do in the club back then?
それも今とそんなに変わらない。グライダーを作って飛ばそうとしてた。
Well, I kind of wonder how long Amane has been at the drawing board. I wonder if she's been on the drawing board for so many years before Aoi, Kotori, and Ageha came in and helped accelerate the progress.
あの頃の私はグライダーにあまり興味がなく、ただイスカが写真の場所へ行ってみたいと言うから、それを手伝っている感覚だった。
Okay. So is it different now?
航空工学は私の専門分野ではないが、研究してみると面白い発見がたくさんあった。
Okay. So I wonder what Amane is good at. Maybe chemistry?
それに、みんなと、小鳥やアゲハや葵くんと一緒に何かをするのは楽しい。主翼が完成した時のことを覚えているかい？
Yeah, of course. I remember it very well.
あの時、嬉しかったんだ。みんなの力が、気持ち？
So it's like, well, I was really happy to see some progress being picked up again. And I'm pretty sure Amane is really happy that the wings that were put on the glider this time, they're actually good quality, much better than how Amane put it together when she was alone, or with Isuka.
うまく言えないが、それが形になったような気がして。だから飛ぶのは怖かったけど、テストフライトが楽しみだった。
Okay, Amane. So without realizing, I had taken it back. I usually never know what she's thinking, but now I know that she felt the same way I did back then.
きっと何でもいいんだと思う。みんなが夢中になれるものなら。
So this just happened to be the glider. And the rest of us could possibly say the same thing.
ずっと知りたかったんだ。イスカが夢中になってた理由を。
I'm sure we know why, says Amane as she looks into the distant view on the other side of the lake.
あの雲の回廊を飛べば、それがわかるかもしれない。
So that's why it's your goal then. That place, even if she's all alone. Well, maybe even now, Amane isn't really into making gliders. So the thing that she's chasing after, it's not the sky, but Isuka. So I wonder where Isuka is now. The question that I had been on the verge of asking before, but had stopped myself, just slipped out. So where's Isuka? So what's wrong? So Maya looks at the windmills, turning slowly in the wind.
さあ、わからない。どこかへ行ってしまった。
So I think Amane knows that she's afraid to reveal what happened to Isuka, because I find it really hard to believe that Isuka would just suddenly disappear and never to be seen again. But there is a chance that that's probably what happened. So Amane was smiling. Not like she was sad or lonely, but like she said, she had given up. So I regret asking such a unnecessary question. And not knowing what to say next, I looked up at the windmills with her. And every time I see them, it's such a tranquil scene. It feels as if living life rushing around, living according to time, is so silly. to take a step back in life?
それにしても暑いな。ソーラーパネルが大活躍だな。
Well, I'm sure solar panels work based on intensity of sunlight, not heat. Yeah. So other than that, the windmills, there are solar panels to generate electricity. And in the direct sun of the middle of the summer, they must be working like crazy right now.
そろそろ帰ろうか。
Okay, so we should go back home then. And I'm sure Aoi still has all the stuff that he is helping Amane carry home. The drawing board, the pencils, the tools, paper. What shall we do? Maybe we should just stay for a little longer? And the more I would try to come up with something to prolong time, it's going to make it suspicious for Amane. So I checked the time on my cell phone and it's still a little bit early.
でも暑いぞ。ほら、汗がこんなに。
But you know, it's kind of hot out here. She says as she puffs her sweaty clothes away from her chest. And that's what Ageha said once. This is the area that gets the most sweaty. Or like the most heat. No shades. Okay, let's go to a convenience store. I'll buy you ice cream.
アイスか。いいな。
Okay. So looking like she was about to start drooling, Amane immediately started walking. I go after her carrying the bags.
私はストロベリーのやつがいいな。甘酸っぱくて美味しいな。
Go ahead, have whichever you like. So in order to buy them sometime, it looks like I'll need to get her to eat about 2 or 3 ice creams. So I wonder how much preparations, or I wonder if Ageha and Kotori know that Amane is looking at going back soon, because then they can start speeding up the progress and it'll make it not as suspicious to Amane, because I'm pretty sure if Aoi keeps coming up with something to do instead of going home, it's going to become obvious that he's hiding something from Amane, and that's going to make Amane kind of upset, and she's going to want to find out what it is. So we were going to be eating later, but that shouldn't be a problem for Amane.
Tadaima.
Okay, so they finally go back. Okay, so I'm pretty sure all that suspicions, they got washed away by this big surprise. So going into the entranceway, Amane is surprised by the sound of a cracker going off. Seeing Kotori and Ageha there, she said,
今日は私の誕生日だったか。
Wait, birthday?
違うって。自分の誕生日覚えてないの？さあさあ、どうぞ奥へ。
So I wonder if Amane really forgot her birthday. But anyways. Okay, so what's on the table for Amane? So with a big question mark on her face, Amane is brought into the dining hall, and without hesitation, she showed her amazement when she saw the spectacle awaiting her inside. And it followed her inside, or I followed her inside, and I also let out a little gasp. So, wow! There, the dining table was overflowing with food.
すごい。美味しそうな食べ物がいっぱいだ。
So I wonder how much money they spent on this, and I wonder how much time they need to prepare all of this, and how much help they got.
気に入ってくれたみたい。まずは成功だね。
Okay, so this is good. Kotori and Ageha smile at each other.
天音先輩、長い間お疲れ様でした。 れちゃったの？送別会するって言ってたでしょ？
Really? So Amane forgot that she's gonna have a farewell party? So it seemed like she really had forgotten and said, "Oh yeah," and nodded while she finally remembered.
忘れなきゃいけないと思ってたから頑張ったんだ。
It's like, well, I didn't expect that this was going to happen. Well, if you try your best to forget something, wouldn't that just make the memory more vivid? That's what Amane's like though. She's not like an ordinary person. Well, I'm sorry, Amane. We didn't want you to see them preparing everything, so that's why I've been taking you in all those different places all day.
約束だよね。Amane先輩とデートできちゃうなんて。
Oh, so you got to spend personal time with Amane senpai. Isn't that a pleasure? Hey, that's not what this is about though.
あれはデートだったのか。
No. I just said,
初めてした。そうか、あれがデートなのか。引退前にまた一ついい思い出ができた。
But anyways, Amane is going to accept it as a date.
だって喜んでもらえたみたいよ。
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure I would think that, well, Amane's going to forget about it afterwards, so there's no need to, have to correct her.
赤くなってる。やらしい。
Hey, shut up. Well, more importantly, you guys have done a great job getting all this food ready. So, by the looks of it, let's see. So, Western food is the main focus here. It's Italian and French, but I'm not that, let's see, clued up on it. So, I don't know the names. However, there are things like roast beef and chicken that have been cooked in the oven, so it's a lot like real restaurant food.
ひばりねん手伝ってもらったのよ。
And it looks like Hibari came to help. Oh, and she's here. So as Kotori spoiled the surprise slightly, Hibari, who couldn't wait any longer, came running into the dining hall.
こんばんは、Amaneさん。こんばんは。小鳥ちゃんに頼まれてお手伝いさせてもらいました。
So I wonder if Hibari knows Amane personally. Oh, I see. So that's why...
言っときますけど、私たちもちゃんと手伝ったんだからね。
Well, I want you to remember that it was us two that did most of the work.
ね
Okay, so it looks like there's some other helpers, so Hotaru, Tatsuya, and Masasugu. So we invited him to surprise Amane.
Amane, 引退おめでとう。
達也、ありがとう。いいのかな、私たちも混ぜてもらって。
Okay, so it's more like they're participants for the party.
いいんじゃねえの？俺らも草むしり手伝ったんだし。
Okay. So Hotaru and Masasugu are here too. And I'm pretty sure Masasugu cutting grass, that's not really anything significant. So like Masasugu says, they did help out, but at times like this, the more the merrier.
パーティーと聞いちゃ黙ってられないからね。
So I wonder if Kanako snuck in or she got invited too. Hey Kanako, I thought you went back home.
追い出されてきた。
Well, I got kicked out again. And I'm pretty sure it's for the same reason. I was in my underwear. So they must have been wondering, or like she must have been wandering around in her underwear again. There you go. But we can't leave her out of the party. She helped out with this and that too.
わあ、賑やかだな。
So it's like she's talking about someone else's party.
主役はあまねちゃんよ。そうそう。今日は先輩の送別会ですからね。
Well, anyways, today's your farewell party, so.
そうだった。ありがとう、みんな。さあ、 夜は飲んで歌ってじゃんじゃん騒ごう。
Okay, so let's get the party started.
おー
Hey, don't go too crazy. This building is old and falling apart, you know. So, hey, let's not get too crazy that we start destroying the building. Wow, this is good.
相変わらずだわね。
Oh well, that's how Amane is.
がっかり感が半端ないわね。
So everyone sighs when they see the way that Amane eats. That totally ruins the effect of good looks.
どうしたんだみんな。
Well, I'm pretty sure Amane learned it after all those years of getting hungry while being at the drawing board.
なんでもないわ。料理気に入ってもらえてよかったです。
But anyways, we are happy that you enjoy the food.
美味しい。すごいな。今日の料理は豪華だな。ひばり姉が腕を振るってくれたからね。小鳥ちゃんの大切な先輩さんなんですもの。半端なお料理は出せないわ。
It's like, well, it is Kotori's hero, so we have to make it the best we can. So Ibari emphasizes the point. So she's also a good person, but when it comes to Kotori, she gets this scary look in her eyes.
このチキン美味しいな。
So she wolfs down the grilled herb chicken with a complete lack of manners. So I feel a little sad to think that I will be no longer able to see the way she eats so excitedly.
ついに天音も引退か。もっとも最初はまだ続けてたことに驚いたけどな。
父にたくさん迷惑をかけた。これからは親孝行しないといけない。
Well, I know. I was a really bad person. I've really caused problems back home with my dad, so now I have to go help him and make up for all those lost time.
お前の口から親孝行なんて言葉が聞けるなんてな。
ねえねえ、あんちゃんもソアリング部を復活させた時のメンバーなの？
Wait a minute, so Anshan, I did remember that you were part of the soaring club.
俺か？俺は違うぞ。後から誘われたんだ。
No, so it was Isuka who founded the club, and then she pulled Amane in, and then I just joined in at a later date. So I wonder what was the reasons for Tatsuya being interested in joining the soaring club. Amane?
どうだったかな。
It's like, so who invited you, Tatsuya? And you can't recall.
達也を誘ったのはミスカだ。
Oh, that was Isuka.
私が作ったパーツを見て、ミスカがこれはまずいって言い出して。
So apparently Tatsuya caught sight of Amane and her work. It's like, I do see problems with this. And when he helped Amane fix those problems, that's when Isuka's like, you'll be a perfect fit for the soaring club, so why don't you join?
一体何がまずかったのか今でもよくわからないんだが。
Or maybe because of Amane's poor craftsmanship, she put together the instruments and the parts all sloppy. So Amane didn't understand, but we got it straight away. And that's when he asked Anshan.
あんちゃんは昔から工場の手伝いしてて、その手の加工技術はお手の物だったもんね。それもあるが。
Okay?
あるが？
So another reason.
おっと、これは誰にも言っちゃいけないってイスカから言われていたんだった。危ない危ない。
So what's the problem here? So it seems that there's some deep meaning in what she said. So if it was any ordinary person cutting themselves off like that, I would be like they were waiting for us to say, so tell us. But with her, I don't think that's the case.
それってやっぱあれじゃない？ねえ。
So I think the problem is that when they are going to disclose the details about how Anchan joined the club, it would have required Amane to spill the secrets of Isuka.
今のソアリング部を始めたのはイスカとアマネだ。当時は2人だけだったんだ。
Okay?
2人でできたんですか？部活に。
当時の生徒会は甘かったからな。特にアマネには。
Well, that was before they learned that Amane was going to stay in school for a very long time. So that's why they were kind of okay. And I'm pretty sure at first they're impressed with Amane's intellect and her accomplishments.
何せ学校創立以来の天才少女だ。先生も大抵のことには目をつぶっていた。
There you go.
そうだったのか。
And Amane forgot all about all of those. So that as Amane slurps her soup, she speaks like she's talking about someone else again.
私は天才なんかじゃないのにな。イスカにいつもバカだバカだと言われていた。アマネ先輩のことをそんな風に言えちゃうなんて。イスカってそんなにすごい子だったの？
So was Isuka a better person then? Even better than you?
ああ、イスカは天才だった。
Yeah, so she was a real genius. So when Amane answers, she speaks proudly of her as if she were her own. A genius that surpasses Amane Mochizuki. Well, I can't imagine it. So looking over towards Anchan, he shrugs his shoulders and smiles.
確かイスカが見つけてきたんだよな。ガレージとそこに眠っていたグライダーを。
So Amane is right that Isuka was the first person to reopen the club. Amane nods while busy biting into her chicken.
ある日突然言ってきたんだ。すごいものを見つけたって。それでグライダーを飛ばすことになった。
Well, I think Amane should first eat up what she wants to eat and then speak, because all that munching is making it hard for even me to read what's going on. So a lot of the description had been left out, but I understand it for the most part. So decide not to delve any deeper. This kind of thing often happens when talking to Amane.
お前たちが乗っているあの機体も元は OB が自作したものにアマネたちが手を加えたんだぞ。
私ずっとアマネちゃんたちが全部作ったんだと思ってた。
So apparently the glider was built by people from a long time ago, and when Isuka and Amane found the club, they were trying to make revisions and fixing what was already there. So you're pretty much flying on a hand-me-down kind of product, or hand-me-down kind of glider.
OB の人たちもすごかったんだね。
So hearing about the achievements of club members from the days gone by made our own achievements quite insignificant. It's like, well, we did do something great. Or like Amane and Kotori did something, or actually Ageha did something great, but we just kind of just fixed it and made repairs. But the real people who built it, that was a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure without them, the Soaring Club would not have existed. So you gotta work harder. So while we talk about the history of the Soaring Club, the ones who don't have much to do with it were just enjoying the food.
マー君、これ美味しいよ。ベーコンが巻いてあるやつ。
So looking at the other people, so Hotaru and Masasugu,
どれどれ。おお、マジでうめえ。
This tastes good.
いいなこういう飯。うちじゃラーメンと餃子ばっか食わされてるからな。
Okay. And I'm sure ramen is not healthy and gyoza has too much oil.
うちもお父さんが洋食嫌いだからあんまりこういうの食べたことないよ。
Okay.
おかわりどんどんしてね。まだたくさんあるから。あ、はい。小鳥さんのお姉さん優しいね。
しかも超美人じゃねえか。青いやついい生活しやがって。
Well, I'm sure Hibari and Aoi are really that close together. Hibari just wants Aoi because just take care of Kotori for me. I can't be watching Kotori all the time.
おかわり。
Seconds?
はいはい、ただいま。
It's okay. I'll do it. So let me do the work.
いいのよ。水瀬さんは座ってて。
Well, for you, you've done a lot of work, so sit down. She said as her slippers pattered as she went into the kitchen.
ひばりさんってさ、絶対いいお嫁さんになるよね。
I'm kind of jealous. I feel like she's a perfect person.
彼氏とかいるのかな。どこの馬の骨ともわからないやつにお姉ちゃんをあげる気はないからね。
Well, I'm sure if she has a boyfriend, I would know about it. And I don't want some crazy guy going with my sister.
付き合う相手はこの私が厳しく審査するわ。こっちはこっちでシフコン丸だしね。
So maybe you do like your sister so much, you're a siscon.
違うわよ。私はただひばり姉が大好きなだけで。
Let's see, I just think the world of my sister, that's all. And I remember that Kotori was complaining about Hibari. It's like, you're clicking onto me too much, and you're always close to me, and you're always telling me all sorts of things that I already know, like brush my teeth, make sure I comb my hair, do this, and that, and make sure someone accompanies me to the bath, and it was so annoying. And I wonder why Kotori has a different opinion of Hibari at this party. Well, it is good for sisters to get along. At least.
ハバネの姉ちゃんってあんちゃんと同い年くらい？
So, is your sister the same age as Anchan?
かな。
I guess. So we all look at Anchan and then at Amane.
ってことは先輩とも同じくらいか。
So that means that Hibari is about the same age as Amane as well.
はい、お待たせしました。
And before they can talk more, Amane's here, or like Hibari's here for seconds. So Hibari puts a second helping of chicken on Amane's plate. Well, if Amane didn't become the super repeater student and had just graduated normally, maybe she would have ended up like her. No, there's no way that could have happened. So she would have swapped her school uniform for a while, or like for a white coat, and joined her dad working in the lab. Well, maybe her lifestyle wouldn't be like that, different to what it is now.
そういやさ、あまねちゃん、いつもなんか書いてるよね。あれって何の設計図なの？
Well, I have a feeling that Amane would just probably go to college, and by the time she's in a white lab coat, she has a PhD in something, and has written journals all over the world, or published for the world. But by the way, okay, so Kotori's asking about, so what about those drawings that you've been working on all the time? Kotori asked a simple question.
ああ、それ私も気になってた。
So that was something that was on my mind as well. So even Aoi wants to know what's going on with Amane at the drawing board.
グライダーだが？
Well, it's a glider,
でももう完成してるじゃないですか。
but we already have one, so. So Amane wiped her mouth and stood up. She leaves the dining hall and comes back shortly after.
これか？
So you're talking about this? So Amane lays out the aforementioned designs. It's a glider, but it's a little different shape to ours. In relation to the body, the wings protrude further forward.
何これ？翼の形が違う。他にも改良されてるわね。胴体の形は同じだけど、ほら、こことか。
So I can sense like so I see that there's some advantages of this design. So Ageha points out all the small differences one by one. So they were a considerable number of changes.
これは本当は作るはずだった機体なんだ。
Well, this is a better design and
本当は作るはずだった？
should have made. Amane nods.
さっき達也が言ってたけど、今の機体は旧ソアリング部の先輩方が自作したものだ。
Okay.
すごくよくできたいい機体だけれど、細部まで煮詰められてはいない。おそらく外国の有名な機体を真似て作ったせいだろう。機能を理解しないまま模倣した形跡がある。
Okay.
そこへ私なりに改良を加えてみた。
So we all eagerly looked at the designs. And even when I find the differences, I've got no idea how this is any better. So, but the old members used this aircraft to fly above the clouds, didn't they? Well, that's true. They also took that photo. So in which case, the design specs must be good enough, right? Well, if you say good enough, that's not a really good conclusion. It's like, well, even if it's good enough, there's always places to improve. And that's why there's always new designs coming out for anything every year.
当時の高校日誌によると、あの時のフライトは飛行機曳行だったらしい。
Okay, and? So, it's a launch method using a tow plane, not a winch, to pull the glider into the air, taking off together.
じゃあ、最初からかなりの高度まで上がれたわけか。
Okay. Amane nods.
しかし、我々に飛行機はない。私はウインチ曳行で少しでも高く飛べるよう、設計の細部まで煮詰め直すことにしたんだ。
So, I noticed that our current glider is optimized to have a tow plane bring it up to the skies. But we don't have a tow plane, so I'm trying to make modifications so that it's a better fit for the way that we launch this glider. So the result, which are these designs.
でも、結局作らなかったのよね。
Well, I'm sure they can fix it somehow. So Kotori question is answered by Anshan.
ボディに加工を加えているし、主翼を一から作り直す必要もある。
It's like, well, we can use what we have, but it's going to take a considerable amount of money and time to modify it.
これを実現しようと思ったら、相当な時間と費用が必要になっただろう。
There you go. So if they had been working on this from back then, Ansho would have been at the center of production.
できなくはないだろうが、難しかっただろうな。
It's like, well, at the end, it was better if we just kept it on the papers.
それに、設計図はまだ完成していない。
And also, I'm still working on the design. It's not complete yet.
なかなかアイデアがまとまらないんだ。私はバカだからな。
Well, I kind of wonder because Amane's been working on this for a very long time, and I wonder why she still can't get her ideas together. It's just maybe like the ideas are conflicting. So if Amane can't do it, it wouldn't be impossible for anyone else to do it. Amane carelessly folded up the designs out, then put them to one side and went back to eating.
アイシールが跳ねる。お姉ちゃんそれどっかやっといて。はーい。
So he probably moved the designs to a place where they would not get dirty while the rest of us continued the meal. So after the meal, we went out into the garden to do some fireworks. Okay, so notice that my time is getting quite long, so I'm gonna go and stop here for this episode. So overall, I kind of like how Amane reveals some more information about Isuka, the fact that she keeps mentioning her name, and for some reason Amane does not want anyone to know too much about Isuka and why or where she went. And I think it's related to the accident, and that's why our favorite teacher, Tobi Sensei, is concerned about the soaring club. So also, with regards to improvements to the design, that's important because even though they have a glider, there's always places to improve. Maybe they can generate more lift from more efficient wings, and that'll let the glider stay much longer in the skies, or generate more lift from the same intensity and magnitude of the wind gusts. And the fact that this glider is not optimized for winch takeoff or taking off to a low altitude. But obviously, it takes time and money to make improvements. And I wonder how the previous Soaring Club members were able to get money to build the very first glider from scratch. But anyways, we'll see how the rest of Amane's farewell party goes in the next episode. So with that in mind, I will see you later.